Hello everybody, I am Nikki S. So I caught the tail end of rave and then what was the birth of hard house. Carl Cox was playing techno in the boiler room, and so my love and passion for rave began then. I was an accidental DJ, believe it or not. It was the hard dance, hard trance element, but the production had moved on and it was very groove driven. Psytrance is global and it's beautiful. And Sonica was kind of like the turning point and the pinnacle of this new wave of Psytrance. And I was running some of the biggest events in London. There were hard dance, hard trance events. I was running weekly nights in Ibiza, running record labels, managing artists. I just have to do this music. I love the culture, I love the people, I love the fact you get to travel and travel to the most beautiful locations in the world. Fuck it, I'm going to play a load of Psytrance.
Hello everybody from Zenith Gathering Launch Party in Sydney, Darling Harbour at the Home the venue, and I'm here with one of our headliners. Please introduce yourself.
Hello everybody, I am Nikki S. I am originally from Melbourne but live in London, so also from the UK.
Nikki, so what do you think about Australian music scene? I'm not talking about music specifically, but in general the music scene and in comparison to everywhere else that you've played.
Oh wow, big question. So I haven't lived here for a long time, but every time I have come back to Australia, Australians have huge amount of enthusiasm. The festivals are amazing, the clubs, the venues are stunning. What I have noticed from looking on social media and things like that is that coming out of the pandemic, Australia really exploded. They exploded with festivals and I guess great music all around.
How long has it been since you were last in Australia?
So I've been really fortunate. I actually came out to Australia last on Christmas Day. So as soon as the Queensland borders opened, I flew out to Australia on Christmas Day, stayed here for the whole month of January, but that was a family visit to see my family post-COVID. But this is the first time I've played in Australia for quite some time.
Can I ask you, well, I'm going to ask you, how did your music journey begin and when? And was it with electronic music or some other music?
Yeah, sure. So my music journey began in, this is going to sound really old, 1996. So I think what really switched me on was Prodigy releasing Fat of the Land. I was always a big Prodigy fan before that, Jilted Generation. But Prodigy did the Fat of the Land tour and they played at Big Day Out and they did a set on the Gold Coast, Big Day Out show on the Gold Coast, and it literally blew my mind. And I remember The Offspring coming on afterwards. Carl Cox was playing techno in the boiler room, and so my love and passion for rave began then. I was underage at the Big Day Out, but it was fabulous, and that inspired me to go across to the UK in '99. So I caught the tail end of rave, and then what was the birth of hard house. Now hard house back then, it came out of the rave scene. It had a lot of the rave hooks and stabs, and it was the biggest selling genre in the UK at that time. So I was massively into that scene for quite a number of years. I ran some of the biggest events in London as a result of that. Managed a lot of artists, Nick Sentience, Tidy Boys, Lisa Pinup, BK. Those of you who know your old school music will know them and their innovation in the scene. So that was really my inspiration and what made me want to stay in London. I just fell in love with the music. Then in 2005 or 2004, Asterix started releasing the new wave of Psytrance, and that really caught my attention. It was the hard dance, hard trance element, but the production had moved on and it was very groove driven. And in 2005, I went to Sonica in Italy, and Sonica was kind of like the turning point and the pinnacle of this new wave of psytrance. You had on the same stage, you had X Noise had just released their album, Psysex, you had Sub 6, you had Hallucinogen, you had Infected Mushroom. It was this new mecca of the new wave of psytrance, and every single set was phenomenal. The sound system was phenomenal, and that blew my mind. And actually, the closing set, so this is a multi-day festival, you're talking 5 days, 5 nights of incredible, cutting-edge, new wave psytrance, all about to be released, and the closing set was Tristan, the main man, who is on right now. And I remember looking at the flyer and the lineup, I'm like, who is this Tristan? Everyone's got Psy this, Psy that. Tristan, and he's doing a 2-hour DJ set and 2-hour live set closing this festival that's just blown my mind. Who is he? And he came on looking like a Viking, as fresh as a daisy, and was just dancing away on stage as hard as anyone on the dance floor to these grooves. And I just thought, that is how it's done. And from then, I've been in love with psytrance.
And here you are playing with him today.
Yeah, it took quite a few years before I actually started playing it and producing it, because I was running other genre events. But it just got to a point where I was just like, I just have to do this music. I love the culture, I love the people, I love the fact you get to travel, and travel to the most beautiful locations in the world. I just came from Mushroom Valley Festival, which is up near the Whitsundays, which is just paradise. I mean, it's a homegrown festival and it is beautiful and the people are crazy, and I felt so proud to be Australian and honoured to be playing there. And now I'm here, Darling Harbour. Psytrance is global and it's beautiful.
So what was first for you, DJing or producing, or was it about the same time?
So first for me was running events. So from 2000 I was running some of the biggest events in London. They were hard dance, hard trance events. I was running weekly nights in Ibiza, running record labels, managing artists. So it was later on that I started DJing. I was an accidental DJ, believe it or not. I was looking for warm-up DJs and I couldn't find anyone just to do a warm-up job. And so I started doing that. And it just led from there. And then I fell in love with the psytrance, and I was playing psytrance in hard dance clubs. And I remember doing a closing set at S Paradise at Extreme Euphoria in Ibiza, and I was doing the closing set, and I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to play a load of psytrance. And the place went mad. So from then I was just like, that's it, 100% psytrance, and I started producing my own music after that, and it just evolved from there.
So when was that? So how long have you been producing?
So I dabbled in producing back in 2008. I did my first ever live set in 2008 before Asterix at Brixton Academy in front of 4,500 people. I'm going to be honest, it was pretty scary. DJing is much more comfortable because you're more flexible and you're more on the fly. But I started producing seriously. I think I took it seriously 2014 with my first album came out in 2015, tail end 2015. That was Frequency of Space. And the gigs just took off from there.
So what or who inspires you?
I take my inspiration from a lot of places. My favourite band in the world is still Prodigy. Then I've got other inspirations like from the hard dance scene. So Nick Sentience, who has played at the Earth Cause and things like that out here, he's been a big inspiration for me. In the psychedelic scene, obviously, initially people like Asterix are the ones that usually turn most people on. But I'd say more recently, inspiration would come from people like Tristan, his attitude, his approach to it. And I'd have to say one of my favourite producers and artists and performers who's so consistent at every set he plays is Avalon.
So he's still your current favourite producer?
Avalon delivers every time. Every album, every set, he puts so much love and attention into every set he plays. And I've seen him play a lot of sets around the world. And so I have to say his heart and soul is in it, and I find that inspiring as well as actually what he delivers.
So you've played also many sets around the world. Can you tell me what was the craziest experience or most unusual experience that you've experienced when you were on the stage, and maybe it was on the dance floor or just in general?
I've had a lot of crazy experiences while playing. I'd have to say one of my most memorable and favourite, though, out of the crazy ones, would have to be most recently it wasn't crazy as in bad, it was a good crazy. I did second closing set on the closing night at VUV Festival in Germany recently, and you're on this massive stage with beautiful production and projections and everything like that, and you've got thousands of people in front of you, but it can actually be quite a lonely experience when you're that far away. And what was amazing and crazy was all of the dancers and performers and the owner and the organisers all came on stage with me and were dancing with me behind the decks, and it was just like this mad house party, everyone's arms throwing around everywhere, and it was like mixing in your bedroom or something like that, even though there's thousands of people in front of you, and it was just such a great party vibe.
So what can we expect from your set today?
So I've got a few new ones of my own that are unreleased. They're still work in progress, so I'm going to be testing them out. I hope you like them. I have played them a couple of times. I played them at Boomtown, a couple of other festivals this summer, and they've gone down pretty well. So quite happy with that. So I've got a lot of those. I'll be playing Space Tribe, a lot of Space Tribe stuff from his new album, Space Tribe. And a lot of United Beat stuff, and of course I'll be doing a back-to-back set with James Corbett to close, where we'll be doing a United Beat special.
Have you played with James before, back-to-back?
No, I haven't. So James is like a bro. I've played for him a couple of times. It's science fiction, and we just hit it off. We've got really similar styles. We're both on the same label. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I look forward to it, and to your set as well. Thank you very much for talking to me. I appreciate it. And any last words you would like to add?
Thank you for having me, and good to be home.
Thank you everyone for watching. All the best. Stay tuned.